Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House guard, and that just seems like such a huge opportunity. I'm a very proud American. I have a lot of close friends that are in the military. Just to be able to entertain the country and the world at this level at the White House, it just means the world to me. So I'm back.
Jon Jones says he wants to be on there too, and he says he would fight whoever the champion is at that time. But would you be okay with him like coming back and potentially winning that belt again? And you might have to go through.
Well, it's not even about him winning the belt. I mean, you know how I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong, especially the White House card.
Jon Jones has voiced his anger after being left out of the rumored UFC card that was expected to take place at the White House. He directed his frustration not only at Dana White and the UFC, but also at parts of the MMA community, feeling that he was unfairly sidelined from such a historic opportunity.
They are planning a UFC fight on the White House launch. July 4th, 2026, there'll be a UFC fight card at the White House. Jon Jones sees that and tweets out, okay, now I'm intrigued to come back. Do you see Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall happening at the White House?
No. I know Jon Jones has re-entered the testing pool. He's allegedly started training again, but I don't believe a word he said.
Tell me Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones wouldn't make sense. It's when they fought for their independence. You'd get all the American fans behind you against the English fans. I'm telling you, Dana White, let's make it happen.
If Donald Trump wants it to happen,
some tax dollars will go towards it.
I feel like it's not going to happen.
If you have the steroid accusations, you can't be the GOAT. I agree completely.
There's been other fighters who have been,
Jon will never have losses. That's what he saves himself.
So you wouldn't even rank Jon at all?
In terms of fighting skills, that dude is good. He beat me. I also recognize he's probably not the only guy I fought that had performance enhancers. He was just the only one I couldn't beat. So at the end of the day, he still won the fight. My frustration is, why did it happen every time?
We all agree when it comes to just
skills
and technique of fighting.
He good, man.
What he was able to do. Jon doesn't knock guys out, boom, boxing with his hands. But I'm talking about putting together a complete fight.
So many different weapons. And how can you not respect that? Look, be like Chael. Say it. I did steroids. So what? Steroids don't help you fight. They help you train. Inside that octagon, though, that's not the steroids. That's Jon Jones' fighting ability.
You're talking about a White House fight card? Hey, man, we got to have some Americans win. I don't like Jon Jones. There's no secret. The whole world knows it. I say, man, y'all better put Jon Jones on there. Because right now, we ain't got one American in the top 10 pound for pound. I say, if y'all want an American dude to go get a victory, put Jon Jones in there. Because he gonna win. That's what he does.
Yeah, we just can't have foreigners coming in and winning all the fights at the White House.
Hey, I'm calling him Captain America. Somebody got to win.
Right now, guys, we don't have an American in the top 10 pound for pound. We don't have an American in the top 10 pound for pound. We don't have an American champion outside of Kayla Harrison, now that Jon Jones retired. So who do we send out there on July 4th to get a victory? I say send Jon Jones. He's going to win. That's what he's done his whole career. If it's going to be somebody that we have to trust to win for the country, you send that dude.
Donald Trump personally pushed for the event to take place. Still, Jon Jones feels overlooked, disrespected, and pushed to the sidelines despite everything he's accomplished in the world of mixed martial arts. From his point of view, it's simply unjust. Many see him as the greatest fighter in MMA history, the most dominant champion the UFC has ever produced. Yet when he finally declares he's ready to return, Dana White shuts the door on giving him the spotlight.
He has been a world champion for 14 years. That is unheard
But so he
of.
has to be the greatest fighter in the history of the UFC, greater than George St. Pierre. I mean, right? Like,
I think on paper, for sure. I think the problem with that is, like, who did he fight versus who did George St. Pierre fight? Who did Khabib fight versus who did George St. Pierre? Like, it's like, who did Mighty Mouse fight versus...
Okay, but so according to
who did
that,
Anderson Silva
who
fight?
do you put number one based on those metrics?
Well, out of just the sheer longevity and the accomplishments, I say Jon Jones. Who is the GOAT? I think if you look at Jon Jones's early career, right? Jon Jones wins the title in 2011, and from then on has fought more fights as championship fights than he has other fights. So he's the most accomplished for sure. Beats Mauricio Shogun Rua, who's a legend. And then the way he dominates all these other fighters, up until you get to Alexander Gustafsson, you could make the argument that he had a similar career. You could make the argument, like if you look at what he did, Jon didn't lose any rounds. Jon was smashing people. You look what he did to Rashad Evans. You look what he did to Rampage Rampage Jackson. Look what he did to Lyoto Machida. Look what he did to everybody. Look at the way he beat Daniel Cormier in the first fight. Took him down. Like, who the fuck takes Daniel Cormier down, right? And then you look at him in the second fight. Even though it was ruled a no contest, we know what the fuck happened. He head kicked him and stopped him. You know, it was spectacular.
Who would be somebody you wouldn't want to fight?
Jon Jones. I'd probably be someone I wouldn't want to. Jon Jones is someone who is just so skilled in all areas, in wrestling, in striking, on the ground, everything. He's long, big, strong. I mean, I'll watch him deadlift 600 pounds. It's like, what the hell? That'd probably be the only guy, man. I could be honest, and I can say it now because I'm retired. I don't have to worry about fighting anybody anymore, but Jon Jones is the greatest ever to grace the octagon, 100%.
I think there's a petition for Jones to vacate the title. It got like 130,000 signatures. Did you see that?
Jesus Christ. I mean, it is getting kind of crazy. I mean, on one hand, it's Jon Jones. On the other hand, it's like Tom Aspinall's been winning all these fights. And didn't he defend his interim belt? Pretty sure that's insane. Like, defending your interim belt.
It's his final fight, obviously.
Yeah.
And like, I think he's just trying to get the biggest possible bag he can.
I want to be compensated to the point where if I won or lost, that it really wouldn't matter.
What would it take to fight Tom Aspinall from the UFC? Like, what does the UFC got to do?
Said something real wild on off the cuff. I'll see you guys later.
That's it.
Yeah, thanks for the happy
Jon
beer.
Jones, the legend.
Dana White has made it clear that his confidence in Jon Jones is gone, especially after Jones withdrew from the scheduled fight with Tom Aspinall. From Dana's perspective, Jones has become unpredictable, a fighter who promises big moments but fails to follow through when it counts.
There's been so much speculation about the White House card. Is there anything that Jon could do where you could say, okay, I actually trust him?
Let me ask you, what do you think Jon would do in the next couple of months that would make me trust putting him on the White House card?
Well, I would not trust him, but I would like to see him fight Aspinall on that card down the road.
So I already said that I don't trust him, and you're asking me what could he do for me to trust him in the next 3 months? You don't trust him.
Well, yes, but you talk to him. I don't.
Yeah. No, I don't talk to him either. I haven't talked to him at all. If I had to make odds, it's 1,000,000,000 to 1 that I put Jon Jones on the White House card.
All right, I think that ends the questions on it.
Yeah.
Did Trump tell you he was going to make that announcement?
No.
We're going to have a UFC fight, the grounds of the White House.
I don't even know how many people can get in. Whoever actually gets to be there live, it will be such a unique, amazing experience in their lifetime. When the fight is going on, one whole side will be the White House, and then the other side will be the Washington Monument. So we will absolutely put on the baddest card of all time.
McGregor hasn't been in a while. I saw right when this came out, he was back in the ring. Jones.
You jump back in the pool. So the dream main event right now would be Aspinall versus Jones.
Is it possible that McGregor and Jones would fight on the same card?
Could be.
Hey, so they've announced this White House UFC fight. What do you think about that?
I think it's exciting. Very exciting.
Can we expect to see you on the card?
Yeah, I can't promise anyone anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be on that card.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any possible names you think?
Well, no, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. I feel like it'd be only fitting to have an American guy fight for the championship that night. I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
That's why Dana decided not to let Jones headline the UFC's White House card. To Jon, this felt like a huge insult. He believes that after years of dominance, after being the face of the sport for more than a decade, he's earned the right to call his own shots. In his view, his legacy should give him the freedom to choose his opponents, even if that means skipping certain fights. But the MMA world doesn't see it that way anymore. Fans are frustrated with Jones constantly hyping matchups that never materialize.
There, that Jon Jones was never, not even if you put a fucking gun to his head, gonna take that fight. Just look at the language Jones has been using from day one about Tom Aspinall. Why would I gamble my legacy on someone like him? Jon Jones, gamble. You win every fight, don't you? You're guaranteed to win every fight. You can beat anyone. Every fight, if you're the best fighting the best, is a bit of a gamble. But you're the heavyweight champion of the world. You're supposed to go on and do that. I've never ever known a champion who tells everyone how great they are and yet doesn't want to fight the best challenger. I tell a lie. Actually, I do remember one time, Tyson Fury, when he did not want to fight Alexander Usyk. Oh, he's not a big enough name. Oh, and he made all the excuses in the world. And guess what? Usyk beat him twice. And this is exactly why Jon Jones doesn't want to take that fight, because he can see what the fuck is on the way. Jones spent the majority of his career as a heavyweight, boiling down to light heavyweight, beating guys who were actually middleweights, aside from one or two. And by the way, he scraped through those ones. When people were equal to him in size, that was where he actually struggled. Dominic fucking Reyes beat him, in my opinion, for Christ's sakes. And who the fuck is he? No offense. He's certainly not Tom Aspinall. In Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones, with his high fighting IQ, which I won't take away from him, he is a very smart fighter, and that's what the problem is here, is he's not able to delude himself into thinking, oh, I'll just beat him, right? He sees everything, and that's part of the reason why Jones has managed to win so many fights, is he sees everything, and he analyzes, and he comes up with good game plans. He's a smart fighter, but he can't do this with Tom Aspinall. He looks at him and goes, right, okay, he's faster. Fuck me, he's way faster. And he's bigger. That's not normal. And he hits way harder than anyone I've ever fought in my entire fucking life. And he's banging out heavyweights in the first round. Big, massive heavyweights. I've been fighting smaller guys the majority of my career, and he's out there blasting out heavyweights. Fuck. If I go in there, there's every chance I'm getting dropped in the first round and put away.
Jon, in my opinion, if you look at his body of work over the last 15 years, he's like as close as you can get to perfection as possible. He's like 37, 38 years old, but not only that, he's got a million miles on the clock. So he's got a lot of damage on the body. He's took a lot of shots to the head. And that's not me saying anything negative about it. That's the reality of it. And I'm sure Jon Jones is aware of that. And he's fighting one of the most concussive punchers in UFC history. And I just think I can exploit it. Like, I think to get out the way of me for 25 minutes at this point in his career without getting hit once, and that's all I need is just one, I think that's going to be very difficult for anybody.
What do you think UK MMA needs now to sort of kick on again into that next level?
Tom to beat Jon Jones and me to win the lightweight belt.
In your honest opinion, when you look at Jon Jones, would you say it's a money thing or not wanting to fight you thing, or do you think it's a combination?
Well, I can tell you some stuff about the money situation, but I'm not sure I can say it on camera, so I will tell you that after. I think I'm a bad matchup for him, to be honest.
My opinion, I think it's a huge risk. It's a huge risk. You're younger, you're athletic, you hit hard, you pose problems, we don't have much data on you, meaning that we don't know what happens if you do. And this is me speaking from an analyst and like my experience in MMA.
Fans are fed up with the excuses, the injuries, the off-cage drama, and Jones' refusal to face Tom Aspinall. From their perspective, it looks like he's avoiding one of the toughest fighters in the heavyweight division. Now, with Aspinall having moved on to face Cyril Gane, Jones suddenly signals that he's ready to return. Aspinall's reaction is icy and unyielding. He isn't concerned with what Jones has to say. His focus is on Gane, defending his interim title, and proving that he's the true champion.
Jon versus Tom would be the biggest fight ever at the White House, and even Dana has talked about it, that would be the wish list. Is that something that you even think about or use as like that could be a goal, or because of the past year, you won't allow yourself to even get too worked up over that?
Do you want me to be honest? It has spent 0 seconds in my mind. That's it. I'm not interested, mate. Not interested. And the world shouldn't be interested either, because what's the point? It's false hope. It'd be a cool experience, but I'm not like, I feel like the Americans should get the shot at the White House. I don't do anything there apart from pay taxes and fight there. So really all of that stuff just is irrelevant to me, to be honest with you.
Guys, I have never seen a fight that we wanted that we've then been denied. No different than the girl at school that you're chasing and she's telling you no. Lose steam. This fight is a smaller fight now than it was 3 months ago. Aspinall versus Jones, which, by the way, I don't maintain for that it could be resurrected one press conference or one Instagram live by Dana. I'm just sharing for you right now. Jones and Aspinall was not only hotter 3 months ago, it was hotter than that 5 months ago. And it is coming to an almost crawl.
It is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the pride of Wigan, the one and only Tommy Aspinall, Tommy Aspinall, na. Tommy Aspinall, Tommy, defending his undisputed gold, technically for the very first time against the pride of France, the French prince himself, Bon Gamin himself, the one and only Ciryl Gane. These two have been going back and forth for the better part of 2, maybe 3 years. Well, this was the fight that we all thought was going to happen in Tom's official first title defense, and so it is in fact going to happen. Tom wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. That was the sense that we got when he became undisputed champion. He didn't want to wait for New York. Let's be honest, the tax is a little better over there in Abu Dhabi compared to New York for an Englishman, for anyone, if we're being 100% honest. And so he wanted to be active. He wanted to fight in October. He wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. It's closer to home, and so they oblige. And you'll recall a few weeks ago I said it's looking like Magomed and Alex, October 4th. It's looking like Tom versus Ciryl, October 25th. And it's looking like JDM versus Islam in New York. That would be the next pay-per-view. Now, that hasn't been officially announced. That hasn't been signed, sealed, and delivered. But at this point, I would be surprised, considering how the chips just fell earlier today. I would be surprised if it doesn't play out that way.
Aspinall has made it clear that he's done wasting energy on Jones, labeling him a distraction who no longer matters to the future of the heavyweight division. The fan base is divided. Some still hail Jones as the GOAT, insisting he deserves respect and that his past achievements should always earn him the biggest opportunities. Others side with Dana White and Aspinall, arguing that Jones has lost credibility and that the UFC is right to move forward without him. The shadow over Jon Jones' career has never been heavier. He remains one of the most talented fighters to ever step into the octagon, yet his legacy is clouded by past controversies, legal troubles, cancelled fights, and unpredictability. Dana White admits he doesn't trust him. Aspinall doesn't even consider him relevant. And the MMA community is split on whether Jones even belongs in these conversations anymore. The truth is stark. Jones wanted the White House fight. Dana White has lost faith in him. Aspinall has moved on. And for the first time in his career, the fighter once considered the greatest of all time is being treated like someone whose era may have passed.